Hello and welcome to the United Stand. Alvaro Morata has agreed to a transfer to Manchester United. That is the breaking news this Friday lunchtime stroke early afternoon. It's from the Telegraph, which is a UK press paper, which I will give you the full story on in a moment. But is it breaking news in the sense that are we shocked by it? Mourinho apparently has Morata as his number one priority now. The story is, look, as I said last night, he's on Spanish international duty. They're playing a qualifier on Sunday night. I cannot see him being revealed before the middle of next week because I can't imagine a Spanish manager or any manager of any international club is going to let players go and sign for players when they're a couple of days away for a game. However, the story is that Manchester United have agreed personal terms with Morata, and he's agreed that he wants to come to United, most importantly, and it's now for United and Real Madrid to sort out the transfer fee, which I'll discuss with you in a minute. But the reasons behind Morata's move, obvious really. One, he was at Juventus playing a lot of football and scoring goals the season before last. He's come back to Real Madrid, finds himself, not surprisingly, on the bench behind people like Ronaldo. World Cup's coming up next season. He wants to play somewhere where he'll get first team football, and he knows Mourinho. He knows Mourinho from the Real Madrid days where he got his debut, and he wants to come to Manchester United and play for him. I want players who want to come to play for Manchester United. I am a fan of Morata. 8 out of 10 player at everything. Quick, holding the ball up, running the channels, in the box. 8 out of 10 at everything. And still young enough at 24 to maybe move up again. Moses says yes, and hopefully it's next is James Rodriguez. But let me read the article for you. It's from the Telegraph, like I say. Alvaro Morata agrees to Manchester United transfer from Real Madrid with clubs negotiating a fee. Alvaro Morata has agreed to join Manchester United and is now waiting for the Old Trafford club to negotiate a fee with Real Madrid. It is understood Morata has agreed in principle the terms that will be offered to him at United, and the transfer is now in the hands of the two clubs. Morata has told friends that he expects to be playing at Old Trafford next season, and he's looking forward to linking up with manager Jose Mourinho again. Obviously, they were together when he started out at Real Madrid. He believes a move to United and guaranteed first-team football will enhance his prospects of starting for Spain at next year's World Cup. That's interesting. I'll come back to that in a minute. Guaranteed first football. That might concern some United fans who are a bit concerned about how good Morata is. Mourinho had considered rivalling Chelsea's move for Lukaku, but the Portuguese accepts the Belgian is likely to return to Stamford Bridge. I think that's nonsense. I don't believe that we're in for Lukaku. I don't think we're ever in for Lukaku. This has prompted United to step up their efforts for Morata. Morata's agent, Juanma Lopez, confirmed his client needs to find a club where he will play for where he will start playing, because he only started 14 La Liga games for Real Madrid last year. He doesn't want to go through another season like that. It was a great season, but he wants to play more. Alvaro is a player who wants to play a more important role. He wants to play more. That's normal for a striker who scored 19 goals. It's not enough. Morata had been a target of AC Milan, but the 24-year-old said, "It's hard to imagine going back to Italy. Despite my experience in Serie A being extraordinary, the only club for me in Italy are Juventus." And price-wise, apparently we had a deal turned down at £52 million, and it's expected that we will go up to around £60 million, which, in all honesty, £60 million for Alvaro Morata isn't a bad deal. I think 60 million, especially in the current market, isn't a bad deal. I'm happy with it, definitely. He's a good player. He'll bring a lot to the team. The thing, as I said last night, and I've said a few times now, the fact that Morata and the fact that Mourinho, wants Morata, knows Morata, we've got to trust Jose Mourinho. His transfer record at Manchester United has been nigh on flawless. And now this summer he's buying again players that he wants, that thinks can knock us to that level. Morata, I accept that he won't set the world on fire in some United fans' brains because it's not Griezmann or Aubameyang or someone like that. But Morata certainly can be prolific in the Premier League. I think he's got the attributes to do it. He's, as I said, a bit like Raul and maybe even Morientes, who I know didn't do that well at Liverpool, but sort of a very much an old-fashioned sort of English striker anyway. Fast, but not electric fast. Good at holding the ball up. Good in the box. Good at running the channels. He's actually quite creative as well. So, yeah, I'm happy with the deal. There is a slight bit of me that thinks, guaranteed first-team football. but he's obviously going to be our number 9 next season. I think we need to sign somebody else. I really do. I've said that a few times now. I've heard some people saying we'll get Morata and Belotti. I would be ecstatic if we got both, but are we going to go and spend 70 million on Belotti as well as Morata? I mean, how do you play 2 out-and-out strikers together? Somebody's going to be on the bench again. So I would suspect if Morata happens, Belotti doesn't. But I just don't see how you get them both in the same team. And I think both would demand being in the starting lineup. So from Zlatan to Morata, technically it's a step down. But what Morata brings to the team that Zlatan doesn't is much more manoeuvrability and speed. And that would be good. Sumajana makes a good point. Man United agree deal of 35 million euros for Lindelof. Yes, this has been going on for a while now. I'm not going to commit to it until we get a little bit more, but it's sounding more and more like it's going to happen. Lots of Swedish press breaking it this morning. As I said to you last night, and I said 2 nights ago as well, we have been told that the Lindelof to United deal is 99% done. I refuse to say done deal on Lindelof, even though it looks like it's absolutely nailed on, because I got it wrong in January. But if he does sign, then obviously the information I got back in January was right. I think we were looking at him in January, and for whatever reason it got hold off till the summer. So we'll claim that on the United stand, and we'll let the source off who got a lot of stick back in January. But it's not them telling us it's 99% actually. We don't really listen to them much anymore, but maybe we should. But yeah, so Lindelof looks like it'll happen. Again, he's got international football. He's playing tonight against France actually, so that might be worth having a watch. But yeah, I think next week we could get a couple of deals. And also, just to add in there, so if we sign Lindelof next week and we sign Morata next week, I think that's a decent start to the transfer window. An out-and-out number 9, a centre-back that Mourinho can build and grow in the way he did Bailly, around the same age. Who else? Perisic, I think that could happen. That solves the wing positions. And then it really just leaves us with a centre defensive midfielder. And then I think anybody after that's going to be a bonus signing. Whether we'd get another number 9, whether we would try and get a number 10 is debatable. But Fabinho's not on holiday. If we got Fabinho, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. Let me just take this from Darren Waters has made a contribution. He says, reports saying Manchester United can get Perisic for around 26 million as Inter need to get 30 million in before the end of June the 30th. Yeah, that's their financial fair play. They've got rich owners now, but Inter Milan have got to generate 30 million by the end of the month through sales, and unless they can get rid of others, Perisic, that's why we're bargaining with him. So yeah, around £30 million for Perisic is a good deal. We just don't want to pay 45 or 50. Morata for 60 million, that'd be a good deal. Lindelof at 35 million euros is again around 25 to 30 million sterling, which again is a good deal. So Lindelof, Perisic and Morata for 110 million isn't actually that bad. Fabinho for maybe 40, that's 4 players for 150 million. I'll be happy with that, and then it gives us a little bit more if we want to go and get somebody else. But I'm jumping ahead of the gun. Looks like Morata will happen. I think Belotti will get kicked into the long grass, unfortunately. But I'd have confidence in Morata because Mourinho really thinks a lot of him, and he's certainly got a point to prove. And he did have a good season at Real Madrid, but he had a very good season at Juventus the season before that. He is. I would put Morata in probably. He's not far off being in the top 10 strikers in world football. And at Manchester United, it really is the opportunity to go and take that on. Michael J says, what's happened? Okay, well, we're just reacting to this news that's breaking across Twitter at the moment from the Telegraph, saying that Alvaro Morata has agreed to the Manchester United transfer, and it's now for the Manchester United and Real Madrid to agree a deal on the fee, but personal terms have been agreed between the club and Morata. I must just add in there as well, as I said last night, that I don't expect him to be revealed anything official from the club until next week because he's on Spanish international duty. For some people, for some reason, people don't want to report that. I suppose it's easy just to say, oh, it's going to happen and everything like that, and you can build it up. But there are players on international duty like Lindelof, like Morata, like Perisic. So them signing before next week is highly, highly unlikely. Ranik Dash has made a contribution. He says, which deal will happen first, Lindelof or Morata? I think Morata's game for Spain is on Sunday, and Lindelof's got a game tonight and Tuesday. So Morata could happen first, would be my prediction. Yes, King James, the information is from the Telegraph. A few of you asking how credible they are. To be honest, I'll be honest with you. My interpretation of it is that they are guessing a little bit because they did put a line in there saying that we broke this back in April. I don't remember them breaking it back in April. And I would say Telegraph. I think they're probably going to be right on this, but I don't think they're getting exclusive information or anything like that. I think it's pretty much obvious that we want Morata, and it's pretty obvious that Morata, through his agent, wants to play first team football. So it looks a very obvious deal. I wouldn't be saying done deal yet. Telegraph can go and do that, but it's looking highly likely. As I said last night, if I had a choice between Belletti and Morata, I probably would go with the Torino striker because I just think he's got more growth in him. But I'll be happy with either. And Mourinho obviously wants Morata, so I'll back the manager on that. And he knows the player. He knows the player. In relation to Belletti, he's had one good season in Torino, and I think he will be a really good striker, but he's had one good season, whereas Morata's done it for a few years, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Ashray asking if there's any news on James Rodriguez. No, but you raise a good point there, Ashray, because what about the David de Gea thing? If you didn't see it on Twitter yesterday, somebody was talking about De Gea staying at Manchester United. Somebody replied it and said, or is it just Real Madrid messing around to try and force a deal? And David de Gea on Twitter liked that tweet. Some people took it as, oh, that means he's staying. Some people took it, well, if he's liking the fact that Real Madrid are messing around, is that him saying it's not dead in the water yet? Because the risk is, if you do deals with Real Madrid, are you leaving yourself open for a deal for De Gea to go to Real Madrid? And as I said last night, I don't want to lose De Gea to get Morata. I would rather move away, not take any Real Madrid players, keep De Gea and go and find a striker like Belletti from somewhere else. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Chris Jericho wants to see the chair. There you go. You can have a bit of the chair while I just span down. I bet you wish you could see what I'm doing to you lot while the chair is there. But oh, you nearly caught me. Thanks, Mark, for always bringing the latest news, says Jade Cohen. It's a pleasure. You know, this information comes in, and if it's worth jumping on, we'll jump on it. I get as excited as you do. I'm as interested as you do. I want to interact with you lot as much as you want to talk to United fans as well. Mark, I'm worried about Morata going back to Madrid after 3 years, says Afra Juju. Well, you know, football's football now. You can't expect players to be staying for 10 years anyway. If he comes into Manchester United for 3 years and does really well, then we're all very, very happy about it. And why do Premier League fans underrate Morata so much, says Ryan Singh? I don't know. He's a good striker. That's all I can say. He's a very good striker. Mourinho clearly wants him, and I expect him to do well at United because he's more than... He's not a one-trick pony. He's not got one thing about him. He's got a lot of things to his game. He's good in the air. He's good with the feet. He can shoot in and outside the box. Like I say, he can run the channels. He can hold the ball up. He brings others into play because he's technically good. So he's good. I know there are better signings and more exciting signings, but they can't all be like that. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. Bellotti is worth every penny, says Leanders. I like Morata, but Bellotti is special. Yeah, I like them, and I do like them both. Do I think we'll get both? I can't see why we would. I think we do need another. I think we need two strikers, especially if Rooney and Zlatan go. But I can't see why we would get both, because how would you keep both happy? Which reminds me, interesting news will be coming from United in the next couple of hours. Probably will go live for that actually, because we were planning on doing it, or we might hold it off till later, to be fair. Expecting Zlatan to be released, but we'll see what happens. Rooney apparently saying that rumours this morning about Rooney that he's going to see his contract out, and he doesn't care whether Mourinho and United play him or not. He's going to see his contract out because it's good money. I can't imagine Rooney that. Surely he's got some pride. I can't imagine him wanting to do that, but there's a lot of stuff. Danny O'Neill says it's not on Sky Sports. That's got to be the funniest comment of the day. Why does it have to? I'd be worried if it was on Sky Sports, to be honest. Sky Sports breaking news is there with the Sun. There's no credibility to it at the moment. So the fact that Sky aren't reporting it doesn't mean anything. I'll be honest with you. I think maybe there is a bit of a jump in the gun from the Telegraph. But if they want to get ridiculed for it, then, and we don't get Morata, they get ridiculed for it, don't they? But I don't think they've jumped into the unknown. I think you can sort of see what's going on. The agent, as I said before, from Morata, very telling. Needs to be playing for a team he likes being at Real Madrid, but wants to play first team football. If Real Madrid sold Benzema and didn't sign another striker and said, Morata, you're our striker, he'd probably stay. But Manchester United are saying, come to Manchester United and be our striker. So, oh God, I should never be yawning in the day, but the election was just very, very entertaining last night, and I stayed up for hours watching it. Which I must just say, whoever you voted for, I'm not going to tell you who I voted for. It's by the by, but if you are UK and you did vote or you didn't vote, I just think it's a fantastic platform that's been generated. I know we're still going to probably end up with the same party, whatever you think about that, but it's really inspiring to see that it's really rejuvenated the politics of the country, and that's all I'd say about that. But in relation to football, yes, I think it's not a big jump into the unknown to say Morata probably has agreed some sort of deal with United. It's now whether we can agree a fee with Real Madrid, which I suppose it puts the Telegraph in safe ground, really, because they say deal agreed with the player, now it's about United sorting a fee out, and that could collapse, couldn't it? But I think the writing's on the wall with Morata, and I think I would be disappointed if it fell apart now, because I think he'd be a good player to bring in. Thanks everybody for watching. Drop a like on the video. Give us your thoughts below. We may well be back live in a couple of hours when the Zlatan thing breaks. I don't know whether people want us to do that or not. Drop us a like if you want us to do it. If we get enough likes on here, then I'll take that as a yes that you do. I'm always a bit wary of leaving a couple of hours between videos. But Tyrone Williams, I hate to break it to you. He says, I'm so tired. I was up all night. I love Corbyn. If Tories get in, I'll be angry. They're in, mate. They've already got the... they were very close to the majority, and they're teaming up with... is it the DUP? The Irish ones? They've got 10, so they've got the majority. So Tories are in, but definitely rejuvenated the politics in the country, and makes it exciting for everybody in the future, especially the youth, which I know a lot of you are. So, you know, whatever your politics are, it was a good night. It was a good night. And right, thanks everyone for watching. Let us have a know. And we'll see you later, whether it's at 8:30 tonight. We're going to open up the Skype again because it didn't go great last night. We'll do the Skype again. But might just react to the Zlatan thing as well. Could do it off my channel, couldn't I? Could do it off my channel. That's not a bad idea. Thanks everyone for watching. I shall speak to you all later, either at 8:30 or around 4 o'clock with the Zlatan thing. Probably will do it off my channel to give this one a bit of time to breathe. But Morata moves closer, but don't expect him to be revealed till next week. That's what people aren't telling you. He's on international duty, as is Lindelof.